Israel Security Services, the Shin Bet, has arrested 5 Jewish Israelis on suspicion of spying for Iran. The 5, 4 women and 1 man, are all Jewish immigrants from Iran or the descendants of Iranian immigrants. The Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett, has warned Israelis to be vigilant about attempts to recruit them via social media.
We see the relentless efforts and attempts of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards to recruit Israeli citizens. These attempts are not only limited to security and intelligence, but also expand to efforts to influence Israeli citizens, Israeli society, to sow polarization and controversy, undermine political stability in Israel, and undermine public trust in the government.
Well, for more, we're joined now by Brigadier General Yosef Kupperwasser, former Director General of the Israeli Ministry of Strategic Affairs. Thank you very much indeed for being with us tonight. So, first of all, remind us, what exactly are the 5 accused of?
Hi, good evening. They are accused of collecting information for the Iranians on security facilities, on sensitive facilities like the United States Embassy, and on trying to help the Iranians collect information about the intelligence and so on and so forth. These are very severe accusations.
And does this pose a serious risk to Israeli security?
If they manage to deliver this information and get the access they were asked to establish, it could have been a very dangerous information for Israel, yes, that could have helped the Iranians work and carry out operations against targets in Israel and thwart some of the Israeli efforts to collect information about Iran, if they were successful. I hope the Shin Bet was on thwarting this effort early on to prevent severe damage.
Do you think there might be other plots like this going on right now?
Of course, this by itself is the 5th such case in the last 2 years. So each case, of course, has its own specific characteristics. But this is the 5th event of this kind that happens in the last 2 years. And beforehand, we had the Gonen Segev case, the former minister that was working for the Iranian intelligence, and so many other efforts. And of course, the Iranians are not trying only by recruiting spies in Israel, but also by acting through the cyber capabilities that they have developed, and they are very advanced in them. And they managed to penetrate into some sensitive targets in Israel to collect information and to get the capability to blackmail people. These are all things that the Iranians are doing that eventually are supposed to give them a better picture of what's going on in Israel and a better capability to hit Israel in the future if something happens between Israel and Iran.
And social media plays a big role in this, doesn't it? Because recruiting potential spies this way simply would not have been possible before social media, would it?
It would, but social media makes it much easier. These things happened before and are still happening in other ways, not only on social media. The Iranians are trying to reach Israelis when they are abroad, especially when they reach Turkey. And when it comes to Arab Israelis, if they can reach them when they visit Lebanon or Syria. This is also a possibility. They also operate in Africa. But the social media allows them to reach people with fake identities, with their own fake identities, and make them work for the Iranians without establishing direct contact with them. By the way, with some of the people that are accused now, they did establish direct contact after the initial contact, and this was done in Turkey. So yes, the combination of social media and real activities is a very dangerous one. And look, they managed to establish here quite a big network of at least 4 or 5 people.